Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Viking.TV Expedition Wednesdays. My name is Jørn Henriksen, Director of Expedition Operations in Viking, and today we have a very, very special guest. He's won 13 Olympic gold medals, climbed Mount Everest, skied to the South Pole without seeing a single penguin. He has worked in a number of corporate positions, has won the Olav Tryggvason Medal for Good Sportsmanship, won Norway's highest award for excellent sportsmanship, won IOC President Disabled Athlete Award. That was awarded by the Board of Trustees of the United States Sports Academy. All after he lost both his arms in an accident, sending 17,000 volts through his body in 1973. For Cato Zahl Pedersen, one of the most winning Paralympians in the world, achieving the impossible has become his life mantra and has inspired many people around the world, especially Norwegians, perhaps. Welcome, Cato.
Oh, thank you very much, Jørn.
It was such a long list of achievements. I had to wear glasses to read them all through. It's a pleasure having you in Viking.TV.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
Yes.
From my office at outside Oslo.
Yeah, it's the safest way to do interviews these days. This way. We're going to talk a little bit about you and your life today, Cato, and especially we could have spoken forever probably. With this CV that you have, we could have spoken a whole session about every single point in it. However, we're going to home in on something where you and Viking expeditions stand on or have a common ground, if you like. But to begin with, we'll talk a little bit about what happened before. In Norway, you're a household name, aren't you, Cato?
You say so. A lot of people recognize me as.
Yeah, I think well, especially my generation that grew up, was born in the early 70s and grew up in the 80s, and I can imagine there is about nobody that does not know you or your name.
No, that's. I feel often recognized when I'm out, either in the neighborhood or where else in Norway and some parts of the world. Yeah.
But I mean, many may know you by name and by looks, but perhaps not all knows what you've done throughout your life, and some of it is just quite unbelievable, and things that normal people wouldn't entertain at all. They would watch it on TV and so. And we're going to focus on something you did in 1994, and that you must have had a tremendous drive to achieve what you have done.
Yeah, I'm kind of born with it, and I've been very empowered by some specific people and adult people in my youth, definitely.
Yeah. Let's go to the first slide, and you sometimes start your presentations with this.
That's remind me of my planned career as a farmer. My grandfather was a farmer, and I was very interested in his business, so I intended to take over after him.
Okay.
I learned fast to interest to all the vehicles and all the necessary works at the farm. So this is my definitive picture of my intention to sit at the steering wheel at the farm. But that doesn't happen exactly like that, as planned.
No, but you've certainly been at the steering wheel of your own life.
Yeah, I grew up at Nesodden from 1959, so I'm a kind of old man with gray hair now of 62 years. So.
Well, yeah, I'm getting there myself.
Hopefully.
And if we go to the next slide, life in Norway in the 60s.
Yeah. We are born with the skis on, they say.
Yeah.
And of course, without internet and without anything supportive television and anything that time, it happens to be a lot of our time out in the nature, doing skiing in the winter, definitely. And when I was out in the wood building a cottage in 1973, I was 14 years old. I climbed in a high voltage pole to look into the view into Oslo. We have the Oslo fjord between, and you have this city light, the orange light reflecting in the sea. And I was inside and built this cottage in the skogen, in
the woods.
In the woods, and I just think that's the smart way to look at it. It was climbing up. And I climbed up. It was easy to climb, and I don't reflect good enough on where it's dangerous, because when I come high enough, 17,000 volt went through my body. It was not connected, but it was 1 meter away, approximately, and 70,000 volt entered my body, and I survived, even some amputated. And we have what we see at the picture. It was the South Pole Explorer. It was not what I think at the hospital bed, but for not the start of the important start. It was, what do I think in that situation?
Yeah.
What is your goal?
Did you think anything at all when it happened?
Oh, I thought that I was so sorry about this farming, how that should be managed. And my grandfather said, Cato, now I will say something important to you. I will that you should more use your head in the future instead of your lack of arms, and your little brother will take over the farm. And he said that the first week at about on the 17th of May at the anniversary day, National Anniversary Day, and that was 2 weeks after my accident. And he said that, and I lay there crying, and I thanked my grandfather afterwards. But I feel very pity of myself laying there then. But that was a very important message from a very important person for me. Yeah. That I get this instruction for direction. Use your head. You don't have your arms.
Yeah. Oh, so, that is a very good message from someone a young boy would listen to, of course.
Yeah. So grandparents, you have to say important things.
Yes.
Because they will, afterwards they will remember.
Absolutely. Well, in that middle image, with the left image being on skis, I imagine. Well, that was a nasty fall on skis, but obviously you didn't climb up there with skis on.
No, I didn't. That was just the picture from my childhood, and this other is when I lose my arm the first night at the surgery, and because of very big traumatic situation. And my right arm that tried to survive the right arm, but that was not. That was 2 weeks later. They have to amputate.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Pity, but okay, because I don't believe very much on that right arm. It was not much left.
No. And the right-hand image there is obviously many years after, and it points towards what we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all because that's the symbolic dream kind of thing. I didn't dream about Antarctica then, but what do you dream of in the hospital bed? So it's just to remember that it's very important when you have troubling phases in life that you have something to look out of the tunnel.
Yes.
So you're not stuck in the hospital bed being sorry for yourself. You survived, isn't that good?
After all.
I said it to my mother. I have 33 degrees. That means that the heart is working. Yeah. Don't care about the 10 fingers. So I was that to have to take that position because everybody was so sorry for me. Yeah. Oh, Cato. Oh, Cato.
Okay. So, but that forced you to change the mindset.
Yeah.
And you started working towards achieving or moving towards what you dreamt for. I listed up, we don't have any images, but you got a tremendous sports career from the late 70s, beginning of 80s. You have to remind me a little bit about your sports career, because it was long, wasn't it?
Yeah, it lasted for 14 years at the top athlete's career in alpine skiing and track and field, and that also was you think this first, when did you start? What is your interest and how that you start with it? Disabled sport for disability in my young age was not very organized. So it was in the school I have a student that asked me, he's sitting in a wheelchair, lived in a rehabilitation hospital close to where growing up, and he said, why don't you join us at table tennis every Thursday? And I said yes, and I started with that, and I was eager. The sport is so fantastic that because the sport is organized for joy, for development, and having fun together. And I think that was I felt so much energy, and I feel that I just push it in, and I work, and I run fast. I have 1:11.5 marathon. I have alpine skiing tradition for downhill and giant slalom. So I was managed. My body was ready for this, and I was adapted into the sport, and I love it. And that ended up with some medals, but the medals is not very. I didn't know where they are in my house because that was more the process that was interesting. The life is interesting. What do you do with your life? You have survived 17,000 volts. You are lucky, man.
Yeah. So obviously you used your head, but you also used your legs quite a lot.
Yeah. I used what left.
But you must have pioneered Paralympic activities in Norway. I mean, it was in its infancy. I don't know exactly when Paralympics became a part of the Olympic movement and as a tag on to the Olympics.
92.
92.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not very young, but the Paralympic movement is 60 years today. It was 1960 in Rome was the first summer Paralympic.
Okay.
And the Winter Paralympic was 76.
Yeah.
So it's quite a young history. And London in 2012, they changed the whole history for Paralympism.
Okay.
with a message from Channel 4, thank you for warming up.
Oh.
So they said it, so the Olympic organization, that thank you for warming up, here come the heroes.
Wow.
So that's cool. I like that.
Yes.
Looking at people not as disabled, but different abled. That's a huge difference. This is a negative word. Different is kind of, just different.
Yes. And I don't know, but if anyone in Norway has observed it, but I think they have, because now there's a number of Paralympic athletes from Norway, and as far as I'm concerned, you paved the way for many of them, making showing that it is possible to do stuff. From my hometown in Tromsø, we have a skier. cross-country skier who is amazing. We have an amazing rower, and you could probably count them on many fingers. But there are some real top-level athletes. I guess in your time it was only you.
No, it's not. No, it was not only me. But the media was really focusing on me. That's why I'm so well known. But it was more people, of course. It was, but. Norway is kind of small, but and also then to disability, we have no wars, we have no also the recruitments. We have I'm happy for that, but we are not very many, but we have good quality. I'm working on that today with the sport top athlete center with the development of Paralympic, the next generation.
Oh, okay. So you're still involved in sports?
Yeah, I'm involved in sports.
Oh, yeah. You never get out of it if you win.
No,
medals.
We'll see. I love it so far. We'll see.
Yeah, that's good. Can we get the next slide, which is an amazing image from I don't know exactly where it is. It's snowy.
It's exactly in Antarctica.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Antarctica.
Yeah.
At Patriot Hills is
all right.
We inside the Weddell Sea. You have where they fly from Chile to the Network Adventure Network and International. They flight Hercules into this place, and Knut Bry, a famous Norwegian photographer, he was joining us into the start of the expedition in '94, and he took this picture of his creativity is amazing, and he take skate uniform and bring it, and he make a clue. I make the clue of my expeditions and my life. It is about the apostrophe that is soon coming down.
Okay.
So that's what we...
Yeah. And you know, you were there because you were going to do something impossible, virtually.
Yeah, my mother said that it's impossible.
Yeah.
I intended to go to the South Pole.
Yeah.
And my mother was in front of a huge crowd of people that said, this will not work.
Okay.
And I tried to understand why not.
Yeah.
And I couldn't exactly give me more. I couldn't see more specific. Why shouldn't I? Where should it stop?
Yeah. If we take up the picture again and
make it
next,
and then you see the apostrophe at this figure. Now it have been impossible instead of impossible, and impossible is kind of negative thinking. Impossible, it's the way out of it. So I try to find myself possible. What should be planned for making a successful Antarctic expedition?
Yeah, and you know, most of us, we wouldn't even fly down to Patriot Hills in Antarctica and find ourselves there and trying to kind of instruct ourselves to that I'm possible. Because now I'm going to ski the next couple of months, 1,500 kilometers. You obviously established some kind of almost self-instructing mechanisms in order to achieve. Definitely,
the clue is self-instructions, because that was the way out of the hospital bed. It's the same structure and instructions, and the methodic is the same. Either you're going out of a difficulty, out of the hospital bed, or in to Antarctica, as you don't know anything about. Yeah. I was novice out there. Actually, I didn't have the dream. It was a friend of mine come to me he was not friend when he come to me. I know him from he was the editor in Aftenposten, the main newspaper in Norway, and he was the editor of economics. And he asked me, Cato, would you join me to an expedition to the South Pole? And I said, no way. Isn't that very long, cold and hard? And how do I do my toilet there? And it ended up with a toilet problem. And he said, how do you do it at home? And then the collapse, I start laughing, and I said, sorry, of course, I start. That was we do. We start with, we think that our first reaction is, it's difficult. Yeah. It's obstacles. We make us comfortable. Stay home, Cato. It's much more nice. Stay with the mom. And be happy. And so together with Odd Harald Hauge, we go planning. And Lars Ebbesen, the three of us, we started planning how to cope with a cold, long and hard. And forget the toilet problem. That will be solved. You bet.
And as far as I know, you conceptualized your expedition. I think you called it. I read the book and and follow that story and I've known it for ever since you did it. You called it the Unarmed to the South Pole.
Unarmed expedition to the South Pole.
Yeah.
I think that was also is unarmed. I mean, from us Norwegian, that's not that good in English. Unarmed is definitely when you are without guns, you are in peace in a way. Yeah. And for me, with this hook and no arms here, definitely unarmed. So.
Yeah. I think it's such a beautiful double meaning.
Yeah. We were peace and love. And I mean. Friendly and with limitations.
Yes, and Antarctica as a continent. I studied political science, and it's a continent dedicated to peace and science.
Oh
yeah. That is a central part in the Antarctic Treaty, and by calling an expedition unarmed to a continent dedicated to peace, amongst other things. It has double, triple meaning, perhaps.
No, I learned something. Thank you.
Can we get the next image? You had to train a little bit for that expedition as well. But I think I read that you did a comeback. You had ended your sports career, and then it was the Lillehammer Olympics.
Yeah, I happened to be in '88. I was planned to end my career because we get our daughter Erika by a surprise. We didn't plan for any children, and I was told that I couldn't have children because of some a situation. And but medical it happens. So we get Erika in 97, 87, and said that 88 will be the last. But then Norway get Lillehammer Olympics and Paralympics in 1994. Yeah. And they have planned for 1994. They wanted to be the best nation, and they said, Cato, you have to come back on the to try for the podium. You have a good you could manage that. And I talked with my wife, and I talked with my employer, and we get it done. So, and my daughter Erika was together with me. She was then after 94. She was about 7 years, and she school, and I was practice at the Alpine courses. So that was fun, together with my brother-in-law.
Fantastic. And then you've been out of sports, at top level for about five years, and then you come back and you take 2 golds during the Lillehammer Paralympics.
I actually was outside 3 years to 91. Oh, so okay. I practiced from I have to practice. So from 91 to 94, I was a top athlete.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, but then it must have been convenient or good timing for someone coming right after the Olympics and invite you to a super long skiing trip in Antarctica.
Yeah, that was in '92. That was I know about this idea in '92, together with planning for doing success with 2 golds and 1 silver in Lillehammer. Okay. In March, and we go all the summer with we pulled tire behind us, and we practice with huge backsacks all the summer, because in November we should go to Antarctica. So in end of October, we entered for Punta Arenas in Chile and fly to Patriot Hills the 3rd of November. And expedition start the 6th of November and last for 2 months.
Wow.
In '94.
Wow. If we look at the image, the next image now, and we, this is from a training. Well, it's probably not a training for anything, but you've been active in the mountains, and you're an outdoors person.
I'm definitely an outdoors person. I like very much the nature all over the world, and also especially in Norway. I have a cottage up in the mountain, and I use much time. And this is a picture about having control, manage the situation, being stable. Because if you're afraid of falling down, then you fall down. You have to concentrate on being steady. So what give you the necessary power to be steady? That is the thinking of have the grounded the forces in the center of your feet. And then so you just think about being like a aspect, like a strong kind of steel, stay there and having control. So it's kind of just making this the thinking of having stability is also do it in a difficult position. But it was not 100 meters down on the other side of the photographer. So it was kind of, but it was steep. But I will survive.
Well, it looks quite steep. But I thought it was a nice image from what so many Norwegians do. They walk in the mountain, and you have been a leader there as well, and done a few things. And we've seen you on TV even. If we take the next slide. Next, And this is obviously, in quite recently. We're going to jump back and talk more about Antarctica, but this is quite recent.
It's 10 years.
Wow.
That's kind of recently. 10 years ago, this is the Skal vi danse, Shall we dance?
Yeah.
I joining there with to take a challenge. Why not? I'm climbing electric poles. So I go up to the South Pole. I can dance. I can try to dance. I was in 5 programs. So
wow,
no, 4 programs actually.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I like challenge myself in new positions. The life is worth it. Yeah. Being without arms is quite easy. Thinking about it, so I try to don't make it too difficult when I start up.
Oh, and you can't be very shy, I think.
No, I'm not. I'm not kind of that one. I going like this, and it's not a nice arm, but it's in my arm and it's me.
Yeah.
I will not try to have another color on my head or or try to look like. I will be myself, and I will be. I'm not afraid of doing wrong things, but I'm afraid of dying, of course. So do it with respect the most. What I do.
Yes. If we go to the next image now,
I could just comment.
Yeah, sure.
Your beliefs about your future. you live out in the present. That means that you if you have thoughts about where you will be in the future, or if you have thoughts about, then you have to do something that affect that today. And that is a good reminder for myself. If you tend to take gold in 4 years, you have to do some practice every day. So just think about it and do it.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you for explaining. And if we go to the next image, this is the introduction image we had on Viking.TV. This is you today.
Yeah.
Still working. Many people in Norway at your age, they are thinking about retiring. Are you?
I start to think about it. Actually, yes, you have to do that because it's about some money.
Yes.
But I plan to at least be organizing Paralympic, the Norwegian Paralympic troops to Paris in 26.
All right.
No, 24. I mean 24. 26. That will be winter in Italy. So I'm not sure I'll be there, but I will be in Paris in 24. So we will see. We will see.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I hope to see you. Well, later on we're going to talk about something else, but let's go back to the slide on the next slide. Well, you came back to the Paralympics in '94. You had already decided to go south, and I don't know when you launched it to the world that you were actually doing this expedition, but I can imagine you met some naysayers, someone that didn't believe it was possible to go to the South Pole.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them. Erling Kagge, who walked alone the year before me, he said, Cato, I have a lot of thoughts about it, about this, but I will support you to try. I believe in you, but it's not going to be easy.
No.
So it's kind of with respect, we plan. We have a lot of the doctor, the sponsor PBS. They consult a doctor, and he said it will be physically impossible to go to the South Pole without any support, because we should not have any depot. We should not have any food or anything, equipment coming over us, and we have to start with everything ourselves, and we have to plan without contact with the world. We plan to walk alone in 2 months, and without any, you have to think of everything with success. And of course, there was a lot of skeptics. Also, the prosthesis, how could that be? The arm in the prosthesis with the steel, how will this work? And we try it out in the freezing rooms, and it seems to be okay for 3 days. So it could be okay for 2 months then.
Yes. You know, I've heard, without any comparison, photographers, at least in the old film days, they used to send their camera to the producer to take the oil out of the camera so that it wouldn't kind of freeze up inside the camera. There are so many things to think about.
And especially when you're going into the middle of Antarctica, because there is no way out there. The only way out is by emergency, or as an emergency also is a difficulty, but it's by success to the South Pole. There it can be picked up. So it's planning for that. It's kind of how to reach unreachable. That's the detailed planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we go to the next slide. Next. Here we see an image of Antarctica.
Yeah, it's huge.
It is absolutely huge. The gray part in the image here is an overlay of the United States.
Oh.
And you can see the white. You can put Europe in what?
Yeah, there's a US. Put US and Europe together, and you have approximately Antarctica.
Yeah.
And it's so much. The ice thickness is average about 3,500 meter average. The ice thickness 3,500 meter.
Mm. But you plan to start at the coast?
At the coast, yes. That's a real. I mean, that's what we. Amundsen and Scott started from the coast at Wedel, from the New Zealand, Australia side, yeah. And we started from the Wedel Sea, in the Antarctic, in the Argentine sector.
Okay.
Here we come. Yeah. We can see that.
Yeah.
So then we started at the Burton Island, which inside the ice. This is the Wedel Sea, is where Shackleton ship went down. And we started there, and we walked for 1,300 kilometers. It's about 800. What is that in miles? 800 and.
I think I converted it to some
860 or something miles. Yeah.
And on this, the overlay with the Norwegian flag in the middle there, that's where the South Pole is, and the red line is the route.
Yeah.
And also up left, you can see a line from South America going down to Antarctica. And just for comparison, I drew in the route that we are going to sail with Viking expedition ship in the future.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, essentially, you skied approximately the same distance we're going to sail.
Yeah. I can put a treadmill on the ship, and I can walk every mile.
Yeah. And in one conversation, you told me that you did this. I think that the trip lasted for about 2 months, and during those 2 months, you didn't see a single penguin.
No, that's true. We didn't see. I see a penguin in Chile. These small penguins out there, but we from the ice shelf where we started, there was 200 meters below the sea. So that was not a part of the Antarctica where the penguins are entering the.
No. And so
we didn't see any penguins or any animal. No birds, no dust. There are nothing inside Antarctica.
Wow. So that wasn't a part of your Antarctic experience. No. It was supposed to be.
No, sorry for that. I should go to look at the penguins. They're so nice and cute.
Yeah,
it looked like me, more like without arms.
That's one of the highlights on our voyages, and obviously many, when they think of Antarctica, they think of penguins. But obviously in the minds of Norwegians, quite some Norwegians, and in particular Amundsen, was the first to ever reach the South Pole. We kind of have it in our identity that skiing to Antarctica or to the South Pole is a Norwegian thing.
We are born with a traditional thing, inspired by some pioneers.
Yeah.
That was. We have been attracted to search for nature, also to love what's inside the nature. So I'm glad for that.
Yeah. If we go to the next slide, actually I think. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's upside down.
What's happening here?
What happened is the practice at Spitsbergen in the year before. We had to try out how it will be to be underneath the world at Antarctica.
Oh, that, of course.
The mountain is upside down,
Yeah.
down there. You understand?
Yeah.
You have to practice for that.
No, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. If we go to the next slide.
Then we have the. That is where we practice at Spitsbergen, at the typical mountain at Spitsbergen, and we're just making fun of this because how will we cope with the upside down situation in Antarctica?
Yeah.
And that what is my kind of the picture here. Your limitations exist in your mind. However, so do your opportunities. So you have everything in your mind, but your limitation is in the front. So you have to break them down with a mixture.
Wow. And well, it's I didn't realize this was in Spitsbergen, but that's actually one of the other places we're going to sail with our expedition ship.
Yeah.
And
that was with the Svea cave. It was
it was a gorgeous image, very creative. Yeah. If we jump to the next image, and then you said you traveled to Punta Arenas in November.
Yeah, so this is actually in the Punta Arenas.
Yeah.
Where we're checking out and do this the last preparation. You see, we go to Antarctica in the season of in Latin America. You have the Santa. What is the in October? Everything about flowers and so the flight from Florida with our equipment that was late because they have to priority flowers to the South. So we have to wait, and the butter we have from Norway that was not in freezing storage, so that was gone. So we have to buy butter in Chile, and the Chile butter we have to try out. And that was could be a crisis actually because the butter is not butter. So we have gets a stomach problem in the start, but we get used to it. But that was stressing ourselves in some days before we should enter with a Hercules to Antarctica.
Yeah. So you spent some time preparing in Punta Arenas, Chile, and then if you go to the next slide, and you were 3 guys doing this.
We were 3, then by some days in the Patriot Hills at the base there. We was going with this twin otter that they store in the ice during the winter. They dig it down in the ice actually.
Wow.
And they fly out with an hour flight out to Birken Island to the end of the shell, to the ice shield then.
Yeah. So you how long did that flight take?
This flight?
From the last leg, so to speak.
The last leg is around an hour with this twin otter. I was in my own world. I feel it. That was very strange to be. This is the last flight to the end where you should walk for 2 months, 1,300 kilometers.
Yeah.
I'm crazy, I thought.
I can just imagine, covering 1 hour with a plane. That's quite a distance. And then you're being dropped off, and we go to the next image. Then you're being dropped off, and the plane goes home.
Yeah, and you can, if you have a good pic, I can see it on my screen at least. I see a small black dot, a little bit on the middle to the left of the middle.
Yeah.
There we are walking to the South Pole. Taken from the flight that leave us.
And if you go to the next image, this is an expanse.
This is the real blue ice.
Was it patches of blue ice on the way as well?
Yeah. It is because that's shaped by the mountains. It's the wind conditions that shape this.
Okay.
Antarctica is drier than Sahara, so it's not actually the snow. The ice is just blowing around. So it's kind of blowing clean.
All right.
Places.
Wow.
But that was not very many. It was more in this down of the foot of the mountains and some mountains.
Okay. But could you ski across this or?
No, we got, this was just for the photo. we avoided it.
Okay, you avoided it. All right. But you met something you could not avoid. If we go to the next image.
We have to go up there. I believe what you have not.
And I was looking at this image, and I was thinking, are they just are they walking in the wrong direction?
No,
are they going up there?
You see, Antarctica, a lot of the ice is on sea, so we walked there now in 2 weeks. We have walked on ice over the Virgin Island and over the sea, and we're entering now the mountainside that will go up to the plateau. So we have around 1,000 high meters. Now it was a little bit below the 900 high meters that we should enter a day. We do it in 13 hours with 2 laps. We have to take 50 kilo. We have 120 kilo in the sledge. Then they start, and then 100 kilo when we come here, and we 50 kilo and we're going step by step and saying nothing other than counting step by step.
Excuse me for interrupting, but if we can hold that image a little bit, because I have a little bit of a dissonance in my head now. I see an image and I see a long slope in front of you, and I see a hanging glacier up top there, and this long slope going a little bit to the left. Is that where you were going up?
No, it was a little bit. It was a little bit to the. It's on the left side of the picture.
Okay.
But it was steep, but not. Also, it's coming up in the end, up in the left corner of the picture.
Okay.
On the other side of the mountain, you see we have a little bit more, not that steep entrance, but it was. We have the meters.
Yeah.
The steepness, it's the same actually, but I think it had been a little bit dangerous with this glacier hanging on the right side there.
Yeah, but so let us just reiterate. You're skiing from the coast. It takes about 2 weeks, and then you come to a slope of 2,500 feet altitude.
Yeah.
And you have 100 kilo sleds on the back, and you can't pull those 100 kilo sleds up with everything in, so you have to do that hill twice.
Yeah. No, to see, so we had to do it twice, and on the top I was so exhausted by the first time, and I said, okay, let's do it once more. This is fun. And then now you can see this. It's more steep than it looks like actually. But then you see what I said when they're coming from the other side, from the down. You see on the left side we see the black mountain there. So we enter up at the same place at the last picture then. So.
Okay. Wow, fantastic!
And here is kind of here is where the ice is also then coming down from the plateau, so it's a little bit more dangerous actually than the steep one. So we have to look for crevasses and.
Yes.
We try to sit down in the sledges and go by bobsleigh down, but that will be.
Crazy, wouldn't it?
That will be crazy. So
wow, it's amazing, and obviously you. If we go to the next slide, you had to. How many tents did you have?
We have 1 tent.
1 tent?
Yeah. And 3 persons in 1 tent, close to each other. We have to save the fuel. We have no fuel for heating. It was just for cooking and melting water.
Yeah.
So this is telt life. We are walking outside for 12 hours. 10 hours. I mean, walking for 8 hours, and we were setting up the tent 1 hour and prepare taking down the tent and prepare 1 hour, and then you have 10 hours left for sleeping and cooking and everything. So we sleep 5 to 6 hours, and we eat dinner, breakfast, and enjoy for about the same 5 to 6 hours, depending on.
For 2 months at the end.
For 2 months.
Wow.
And trying to have fun, trying to do with medical care, with and eating a lot of calories, 7,000 calories a day. It's and
yeah. Normally, if you eat 7,000 calories a day, you eat for 8 hours.
Yeah, actually, you cannot. Yeah, in normal life, I think it's close to impossible to eat 7,000 calories. We eat 250 grams of butter, clean butter, just to get the fat. So, and you don't do that in normal life.
No. And in that image, in one of them, I saw that you keep a diary on the tent, in the tent?
Yeah. At the left down, we enter the position every day, the date and the position. Just we thought that was fun to look at it. Sastrugi, we have a name. I cannot see it from here now, but we have this. We have some point where we can go back and remember that was long ago, and we talk about this. We have remind us on the expedition, and it was a good diary to have this position daily.
Wow. Yes. If we go to the next image, we were inside the tent, and now we're coming outside the tent.
Yeah.
And
that was the typical day, how it looked like out there. It's most sunny. It's high pressure. No blue skies, some whiteouts, but mostly is that, and we have a wind of about 5 second meter steady, up to 15.
Wow.
So what you see up to the left, we have this survival bag that we eat. We put 3 of us inside this survival bag, so we sit there for an hour having lunch.
Yes.
That was very nice until we should have went out. Very cold to start up afterwards. And we have some snow, you can see in the last. That is very seldom, but we have 20-25 centimeters of snow.
Wow.
That was really heavy.
Yeah.
So we was a little bit worried. That was at the start at the Berkner Island. So we expected that to be not happen at the plateau and inside, but it shouldn't be happen either out there, but it did. And we see the freezing picture to the right down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it freezes over in your face because you breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a good thing. You're alive.
Yeah, you breathe. It's like a lot of good memories, but you have forgotten the hardest memories from that expedition.
But so after 2 months, if we go to the next image, you well, not all of these are after 2 months, but maybe only 3 of them with flags in.
We have this up to the left is also a typical some days picture when we have this white out and the wind that we are struggling a little bit here, pulling down the tent after a nice session.
Did you have blizzards where you couldn't go out as well?
No. We didn't have that. We had one day that we have a shorter day.
Okay.
And we have also a planned shorter day. That was Christmas. That was a half day.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, we walk every day. We had 4 spare days. Every 12th day, we have a spare day going through equipment and just for relaxing.
Yeah. Because as a fellow Norwegian, I look to that top left and I think, no, that isn't that bad.
No, that isn't that bad actually. It's not. It's just the snow conditions make it just blowing, so it feel worse. But we have good we have good clothes.
Yeah. You know, Cato, I know many who would have spent the day in that tent in those conditions. Or at home.
But the three left picture, they are at the pole, at the scientific base, Amundsen Scott base, that run by Americans. We was welcome there. It's strange to come into a scientific base. And we could, by working every day there for 2-3 hours, by doing some outside stuff, counting different equipment they had, plumbing and everything, we get food as lot as we want. We have a weight loss of 20 kilo on the 2 months, eating 7,000 calories. So we was definitely eating, we don't eat them out of the scientific base, but we help well at the kitchen. They have so much good food.
And must be a quite special feeling coming to South Pole, mustn't it?
It was. I think doctor he get wrong the hypothesis of making this impossible. It was definitely possible. Don't think about the arms, but think about what's necessary and empower yourself to struggle with the fact that you are in the middle of Antarctica and you are prepared for that, and it will be hard, but you will survive. So this is kind of easy, but it's easy thinking, but it's also necessary. And we're coming there, and so far so what? Also, we reached the goal, and we get happy, but it's a little bit pity as well.
Yeah.
What tomorrow? I miss these days going out there.
Yeah.
Especially if I could avoid all the bad days, then
yeah.
we get some sores with some frostbites, and we get some of that. But this is a nice picture.
Yeah.
And this is Antarctica. This is in Sastrugi field. Sastrugi is a Russian word for Sastrugi is not English, is it?
I don't think so. I think
Sastrugi is for caves, the snow caves. So
okay.
So this is from the winter storms. They could be up to 2 meters high. Quite difficult someplace to pass this Sastrugis.
Yeah. So it's bumps in the snow.
Very, very bumpy, made by the stormy winter conditions there.
Yeah. You know what I've heard? If we go to the next image, what I've heard is that it's so dry in Antarctica in the interior that the skis don't glide very well.
That's very correct. I can support you on that. Because also this not snowing, the same snow flake is just rolling, so it's like a sand corn.
Okay.
And this walking on this is like going on the fish mel, also fiskemel, fish.
Yeah.
You have this. We powder down to a condition that is not making gliding. Snow is gliding because you have these snow crystals that make kind of a surface that is making ability to glide. So this was very hard to pull the sledge in these conditions. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you did. And you, if we do the next image, by the way, you used only one pole?
I don't use it actually. If you can go back just to comment that I use it as a stick. I cannot put power on it because with my arm I cannot. I am strong in some direction when pulling to me, but pushing away I cannot. So it just stuck to like walking. It helped me. But I'm alpine skier. I have good balance. Yeah. I'm used to walk in the mountain. I am strong in my legs. So mostly I didn't go with a stock. I just use my arm like this to get the warmth inside. I have to wave my arms to to make blood circulation. So and we walk quite slowly, but because we cannot be too hard on this. We have to walk with a heart pace that we can continue for 10 hours.
Okay. And then in the next image, you're reaching we have another image from the actual South Pole, I believe.
Here we have the 90 degrees symbol that we headed our head into. And we have this flag, so far, so what? And we go home.
But I mean, and now we get the facts of the expedition.
870 miles. 80,000 minutes. You shall remember that, because when we start to count, it takes a long time to come to 80,000.
Yes.
And it was cold. The Christmas Eve was the most cold, with this very strong wind together with -40. That gets 100 degrees Fahrenheit with a wind chill. And we have this 120 kilo and 265 pounds sledge with loss about 26 pounds a day. With food, and dry food that we added with 7-liter water each of us. We melted 20-liter water every day.
Wow.
With white gas.
Yeah. You know, in these hard facts, I read a lot.
This is the cold facts.
This is the cold facts, yes. You know, to me, it's metrics for disaster. In a way, there are so many opportunities of failing. I mean, in 100 minus Fahrenheit, I have learned that, and I've been in cold conditions, but not that cold. I've learned that if you take off your mittens, you freeze your fingers off, and you have lost your fingers after seconds in that.
So don't do that. Don't take it off. You have it on. And you have to hide your face.
Yes.
But this is the wind factor. So when you get out of the wind, if you have clothing that is good enough and you walk, then it kind of it's not comfortable, but it's manageable.
Yes. Yeah. Unbelievable.
We have to go. We cannot stop. We have to go.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. Why stop? It would be stupid. Yeah, and then after a couple of days in the South Pole, what happened then? How did you get out of there?
We get the Adventure Network International. We have a plan. We have a plan to be picked up. We have to wait there. We were 1 week earlier than the plan, so we have 1 week eating up at the South Pole, and we get back to. They come to picking us up. And go back to Patrick's Hills, and then back with Hercules to Punta Arenas, and then to New York with the first side page of the New York Times.
Wow.
A big press conference, and it was so nice with the tent with a very bad smell inside. We put that in the conference room, and all the journalists I avoid from going near the tent, because we have 2 months without washing.
Oh.
We have the same underwear. We have no change. We just inside out. We just put we turn the underwear inside out just to have a new that friction to the clothes on the other side, and the next day we make it back again.
Yeah. Let me guess, Cato, it was wool underwear.
No, actually not, because if you cannot wash wool, you should avoid bringing wool. We have synthetic brynje, this with a lot of holes in it, and it's polypropylene. That will last, and that will 2 of them give isolation enough on the vortex on the outside, and not put any more between, because then you get freeze. That will be you will be easy inside. So you have to kind of freeze when you walk, and you put in a down jacket when you have pauses.
Yeah. Walk cold, stop warm. Walk cold, stop warm, I've learned.
Yeah, that's very true out there.
Yeah.
So you're not clothed for comfort. No. But wool is very preferably, but that's when you can wash it.
Yeah.
Because if not, it got not this. The wool is the air is in the wool is the glue. When you don't, if you have a used for many days, it's kind of just like wooden, cotton.
Yeah. And if we go to the next image, and you've been to New York, and then you're coming back home.
Yeah. This picture is at the Fram Museum. We were at the Fram. That's Amundsen used to Antarctica.
Okay.
Yeah, the press conference on the deck of Fram. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Me with the beer, but that I should have to take off. Because my wife, she cannot afford beer.
Okay.
But I have to do it until the press conferences was finished.
Yeah. I guess you were excused. You had to act like a polar hero for a while.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, fantastic. Me in my profession, working with polar operations for decades, I've been following almost every expedition, north and south, and some I hold higher than others. But your expedition have a special place in my heart, because I think it empowers. It empowers so many. The same way as Liv Arnesen, our godmother for one of our new ships, the two women that skied to the South Pole, empowering school children. And I think that makes an expedition bigger than the ones that are skiing out there alone. But it doesn't take away the unbelievable undertaking it is to do an expedition like that.
When you mentioned Liv, she walked alone the same year as we walked. She walked from Hercules Inlet in the same period, but she then another and shorter route.
Yes.
We met at the South Pole.
You did?
Yeah.
All right.
We did.
Yeah. Maybe.
The same time back. So we were there 1 week together. We lived. That was fun.
Oh, fantastic! Yes. She's nice. I know that many people would like to travel with us to Antarctica with our new expedition ships, and it's super popular, and we have booked almost full. But I've also heard about people that have asked themselves, and then they have asked people like myself, can I do it? Can I do it? And now we're talking about a ship that is cutting edge. It's probably one of the most comfortable ships on the oceans. It's going to be. We serve 3 meals a day, and there's a spa, and it's super stabilized. Sometimes I say that the travel from your home to the port where you're sailing from is probably going to be more strenuous than being on the ship. But many think of going ashore in small dinghies to Antarctica and walking on the beaches, perhaps in some snow and so on. And I'm asking, and many are thinking, can I do it? Do you have a message to the ones that are thinking like that, Cato?
I think might be you that listening have taken the point that if you are sitting on the fence, kind of, also you make yourself comfortable by saying, no, I'm not thinking that's anything for me. I'm afraid. No, what about that? What about that? Then I think jump down from the fence and trust the organization, at least trust the staff, trust the equipment. That is going in. This is done by many others before. That it's just try to make yourself in a way that you can manage this if you just join yourself and it's an unbelievable unknown trip into the beach from the vessel, and it will definitely afterwards saying this was worth it, because you will survive and you will overcome your own fears, and that's what life is about. Because we are stopping ourselves so much of comfort and much of afraidness. So go down from the fence and walk out on the boat, on the small boats, and join the beaches and the penguins on the other side.
Well, thank you very much, Cato. And I would like to extend an invitation to you and to come on board as well, because one thing I really did notice is that you went to Antarctica and didn't see a single penguin, and that's the most, it's almost unbelievable for me that it's even possible, but it certainly is, and I think you deserve to see a penguin.
I will love it. I will definitely love it. So I will say, well, thank you for our good ideas.
Well, that's thank you very much, Cato, for spending this last hour. Actually, we're not finished yet, because we have some questions from our viewers.
Yeah,
and I'm going to try to pull up those questions, and I will try to go through. Maybe we can't go through all of them, but we'll start.
It could be that we afterwards could I can answer them in a written way, might be, or if it's
yes. Okay, let's start with Alan from Myrtle Beach in the US. Do you have any excursions planned for the near future, and why? Thank you for today and sharing your wonderful story with us. From Alan.
Thank you, Ellen. I have plan of not very long travelings, but I will definitely join the world with small, with small expeditions to enjoy and challenge myself in different situations in life, in weekly expeditions. So I'm more looking for. I try to look and search for nice places and interesting places to do things. And might also do things without. I'm climbing, as I said, Mount Everest, and I start with that. And why not Mount Everest? And it's a lot of mountains around the world, but not Mount Everest again, and not that big mountains, and not Antarctica. Just might be looking at the penguins, not for that long period. I'm finished with that.
I guess
that was a long answer to Ellen's question, but
when you climb Mount Everest, you have that's a big climb.
But I have to admit that I'm come to 200 meters below summit and the top night, so I have returned without being under the summit, because I was interested to fulfill to still be alive. It was a threatening weather conditions, so. We return in safety, and we could go up, but if we have not been surviving, I have been very ugly to my daughter that said, you have to come back in life, living.
Yeah, so you made that promise.
I was typical Norwegian, we return in time.
That's a good principle. Thank you. Catherine from Boca Raton asks, if you had grown up with both your biological arms, would you have chosen a different career path?
I've been thinking about that question definitely, and I think not. I have so much to thank the day of 4th May 1973 that I was put in this condition and in this situation, and I thank life, and I will never change it if I have the possibility to get arms back. For instance, with artificial, with all this, I mean, might be 3D copy arms and printing arms. I will not have it.
No.
Cato is with my hook, with my this different ability. That's me.
Thank you very much. Here's another question from Laverne from Old Lime. What advice would you give to a teenager today with a physical impairment?
That's a very good. I mean, the fact is that the teenager, if the teenager could allow himself to look, to be satisfied with his or her situation, and to go on from what can you manage, what can you afford with in your situation. What is the most problems is that the surrounding by unknowners, by might be parents, by family, that might make a disability situation might be worse sometimes, because this is very important. As I said, I thank my grandfather for being so honest to put the fact that you have to use your head now. Your little brother taking the farm away from you. So they pushed me back. So I will say, I hope that, and I really hope that physical disability persons see the strengthness in what's left. Also, I mean, who are you, and what are your interests, and whose friend will be joining you on the road, and forget all the people that are trying to make struggling in the situation, and don't look at the perfect body, at the advertisers or the influencers and everybody. Forget it. It's a disaster for human beings in a very difficult situation that the teenagers also are. They're framed to the adults.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. That was my kind of a reflection on the question, but it's not easy. But I hope that in the body, the individuals that find themselves and that trust and that be satisfied with themselves.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cato. I think that is how many questions we could do for now. Time flies when you have a good time, and it has been absolutely mesmerizing listening to you. And I think the most important takeaway for me is that things are possible, and you set your mind to. If you set your mind to it, it's unbelievable how far you can reach. And I think whether you have 2 arms, I almost had 3 arms, or no arms, it's universal.
I just remember my neighbor is Børge Ausland. I've grown up with Børge Ausland in the neighborhood. He has been doing the most out of the world, doing it alone, crossing everything and walking over everything. He has done that alone. I cannot do anything alone. I need you. I need a friend. I need a companion to do things together. That is my weakness, but also my strength. So I can afford a lot if I can just say I have a lot of weakness, but I'm not afraid of that. I'm more interested in look for the strength also in the cooperation of others.
Yeah, that's also a universal take back from it for everybody, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me in, and if there are so many more questions, I can definitely give you a short. You can send me, and I will give you that.
Yes, and I hope to see you on the Viking ship sometime soon.
Yes, you believe that if I get the invitation, we can find and might be see some of the viewers on board and on the same ship. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, and I wish you a good night outside Oslo.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's 9 o'clock in the evening local time here, so thank you for now.
Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. See you later.